Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of What Anna Said podcast. As you can see, it's just me and Kim today. Yep. And of course, we will be touching on Kim's birth story with baby Foe. And maybe that's why Anna's not available today.
Yeah, we're missing our third musketeer today. So Anna's been feeling a little under the weather, so she was unable to make our episode today.
Yes, and what a better time for her to not make it than talking about birth.
Just awesome.
She's not. It's just
we know what you're doing, girl. No, I'm just kidding.
But we wish Anna well. We hope she gets well soon. I know she had texted us this morning saying that she's feeling so much better.
Yes.
And she's back at work, working from home and probably gonna have to fly out and do some other work that she has planned. But we're so thankful for all of our listeners that have tuned in to our previous episode with Nane, with Ilaisaane Likio. That was a great episode for us to sit down and talk with one of our recipients.
Exactly.
Get to know her, get to know about, maybe some childhood memories that she had of something that aligned with her passion and what she's going for as a registered nurse. We also forgot to mention on our previous episode that the scholarship for Ilaisaane Likio was sponsored by Pianoland Music Studio. So we will include that link down below if you're watching on YouTube. The link will be available there to check out her studio. And we just want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank those that are coming alongside us as we continue to develop and build this community of people that are there cheering on our South Pacific.
Yes, it just means so much just to have that that support, especially from our Polynesians and for our Polynesian people. So thank you guys so much to our sponsors and just everyone that continues to support us, whether you're liking, subscribing, leaving commenting, messaging us,
or coming up to us.
Exactly.
And building that courage to come up to us when you see us in public and let us know your thoughts. We love that.
We love it for sure.
Yes. So don't hesitate to talk to us. We're not
reach out.
anything special. So we created this podcast to, share our stories, share the stories of others around us who have similar ideas, similar thoughts, and just inspire those within our communities. And so you guys stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the things as we continue to share when those episodes will be up. And just to keep in touch and see what we're up to. So
and not only that, but just to hear their stories. Truly amazing students, amazing seniors, and I'm just excited to have them on this platform and be able to share their story with you.
Yes, that's right, Kim. And that just goes to show, I cannot imagine all the other stories that haven't been shared.
Exactly.
And that is why, once again, why we created the Kasitati Legacy Scholarship Program, because we definitely wanted to get to know these high school students, not just give out the scholarships, but to also come alongside them, encourage them, and support them as they chase their dreams, or as they try to figure out what their vision is and help them see their vision clearer. Because what is that quote that we always say about vision?
If there's no vision, there's no goal. If there's no goal, there's no vision.
Kim might have to go through. We're gonna
have to say. I forgot.
Podcast and discuss this in our weekly meetings. But where there is no vision, there is no hope.
Yes, so, there you go.
And when you have a clear, definite vision of what it is that you want to do, what you want to become, it applies to everything. And then,
there's no way of stopping you from
there's that hope. It. Yes.
Exactly.
So speaking of vision, Kim, we are going to be talking about your birth experience with baby Foe. First off, how are you feeling with this postpartum period?
I've just been, I don't know the words. I've just been I can't explain how I'm feeling. It's just on this high of the birth experience and coming home with baby and having a newborn again. I haven't had a newborn
in how long?
Almost 6 years. Okay, my twins, they turn 6 next month, July. Okay, July 31st, they turn 6, and they're about to be 6, so that's a big gap. And it's just so crazy. It's so crazy to me just being a newborn mom again. I'm just so in love I'm just so in love, you know. I'm so in love with him. I'm so in love and being a newborn mom again, almost feeling like a first time mom again.
Yes.
Yeah, and forgetting like how are newborns supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, I've been feeling great. My postpartum has been great. The healing process and everything, it's been great.
That's amazing to hear, and it always makes me so happy, so excited to know that that's the experience that you got to have.
Yes.
Because this is something that we prayed for.
Exactly.
This is something that you put up as your goal. You shared that on this podcast. That was your goal to birth naturally.
I didn't know if I was gonna go through it, but I did go with it. So
you did the dang thing, girl.
I did it.
You did it. She did it. She had that vision. She did all the things of, learning how to manage those labor pains, pain management. And so we're going to get to share, we get to share how it all went down on that Sunday morning.
Yep, Sunday
so
morning.
Go ahead and walk us through. I know you shared some things that your oldest daughter, Fa'aki, had shared with you right before things began.
Exactly.
So go ahead and everybody, hold on. Everybody grab your popcorn.
Grab your popcorn, guys.
Grab a little snack.
Your coffee, whatever you need. Come sit down with us and listen in. Okay, so so the day before, so Saturday, I remember me and my whole family we ended up taking a midday nap. Okay, at this point I'm tired of being pregnant. Okay, get him out. And we all took
how many weeks were you?
I was 39 weeks and 1 day on Saturday. And then I just remember thinking oh, he's never gonna come. All this stuff. I was tired. I was doing curb walking. I was doing everything I could to get this baby out. It didn't work. And then my daughter, so that when we took our midday nap, I remember later on Saturday around nighttime, like 11 p.m., because then my husband he works overnight. So I remember at this time, me and my daughter were putting laundry away, being owls in the night. And I remember my oldest, she came to me and she said, "Mama, I had a dream." I'm putting laundry away, so I'm not really listening, but listening. If you're a mom, kids just talk to you. If you know how to tune them out. Yeah, and they just say whatever they say, and it could be like, "Hey, Mom, I wiped the table." I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, so that's just kids, they just tell you the randomest things. And so I remember she was like, "Hey, Mama, I remember I had a dream." I said, "Oh, you had a dream?" She said, "Yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream that you were sleeping on the bed, and I remember I came to you, and I was coming to the room to come see you, and I saw that the bed was wet, and you were in the bathroom, and I said, Mama, did your water break?" And you said, "Yeah, my water broke." And my water had broke on the bed. So Aki said the bed was wet, she saw it was wet, and then she remembers seeing the baby, and she said, "Man, Mama, he looks so different. He didn't look like any of us. He looked different." I said, "Oh, okay, Aki." So this was Saturday. Here comes Sunday morning, and it's about 6:20 a.m. And I remember I was laying in bed. I woke up, and I just remember thinking, when is this baby gonna come? Is today gonna be the day? Because at this point, I was fed up. I was tired. This has been the longest time that I've carried, other than the rest of my kids. The girls were 37 weeks. The twins were 34 weeks. So this baby, I was 39 weeks, okay? So Sunday morning, laying there, 6:20. And I just remember all of a sudden, I just felt like this pressure. And I just remember laying there, and I was thinking wait a minute, what's going on? So I just remember laying there is my water gonna break? And sure enough, 5 minutes later, my water did break. Oh, and it broke in bed. So I remember I was laying,
like the dream? Just like
Aki's dream, yep. My water broke in bed, and I remember I got up and I ran to the bathroom just to make sure I'm not peeing. And sure enough, I wasn't peeing. My water did break because I wasn't sure, I was like, is this a trick? Because all this time I've been waiting to meet my son, and he was taking forever. So when my water finally broke, I was like, yes, I was so happy. And I went and I started waking up Aki. I was like, Aki. And right when she woke up, she said, "Mama, did your water break?" I said, "My water broke." And I remember we were just so excited for what was to come. And yeah, that's how that happened. And my husband was still working, so I called him and I was like, hey, my water broke. He had like about 2 or 3 hours left to work, so he immediately took off and came straight here to pick us up. So I remember getting ready, and at this time I remember I was starting to clean my bathroom and I was gonna go make my way to wash the dishes because I didn't get contractions yet. Because with Anna, right when my water broke, she came like 30 minutes after, and the contractions were before and right after. So with this one, the contractions weren't there. The water broke, and I remember thinking like, so that was the part 2, but I remember reading up on it, and sometimes some moms, when their water breaks, you know, they don't immediately have contractions. So I had a feeling like, okay, this is one of those things, just because my entire pregnancy did not go like as planned. At this point, I remember my sister Anna, because I wrote on my sister messenger, and I said, hey sisters, my water broke. You know, I'm keeping an eye on it. I was getting ready, trying to get the house ready before I had to leave. And I remember Anna was like, no, go to the hospital right now. So I was like, all right, yes, ma'am. So I remember Jackie came pick me up. We headed to the hospital. I remember taking a little clip, a video of like the last time of us being a family of 6. And we got to the hospital, I think around 7, almost 8, basically 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's when the fun started.
Yes, yeah. I remember prior to having, you know, your water breaking, I remember each morning, because we're used to going into labor early, each morning I was making sure, before I went to bed at night, I was making sure my phone was fully charged, making sure my husband's phone was fully charged, because I didn't want to miss this moment that you text us and say, hey. So I remember this Sunday morning, I woke up a little bit later than I usually do.
Because I was surprised that Sally wasn't the first one to write, and it was Anna.
And I woke up to so many missed calls from Anna. Then I had all these messenger notifications. I was like, don't me. I quickly opened it. I was like, I need to charge my phone. Went over, opened up everything, and I was like, oh my goodness, Kim's water broke. And it was Sunday morning, okay? So picture this, it's Sunday morning. I'm a part of the worship team, and I am having this struggle of, do I just go straight to the hospital, or do I go help with worship and then come back? But knowing Kim's previous experiences and how so there's some type of complication or something that goes on, I really wanted to be there for her. And so I made that decision, very hard decision, to go ahead and just be there from the very second that she's at the hospital. I did text everybody, let them know, hey, I'm going to be at the hospital with Kim. And when I got there, I wasn't able to go immediately to the room. So I was kind of, you know, anxious. I wanted to be there already. I wanted to make sure. I remember texting Jackie because I didn't want to bother you anymore. It's like, how is she doing? Well, how are her contractions?
He was keeping me updated. I remember this is right when you get there, you have to check into the triage room first so they can make sure if my water did break. So literally right when we got checked in, Sally was like, I'm outside. I was like, oh, okay. So Jackie was keeping updates, and during that time I was having my contractions were coming, but they were still they were manageable. They weren't anything crazy yet. So every time my contractions would come, he would just, you know, he would be quiet for me to feel those contractions, and Sally's just waiting. We're letting her know every step of the way when we were gonna move to the room, and sure enough, they checked and saw my water did break, and then I was 3 centimeters by the time I got to the hospital.
I remember also sending Jackie like some like birth affirmations.
He showed it to me.
Some scripture.
We were reading it.
Because in order to know why I was so adamant about being there for Kim this round, you have to understand her previous birth experiences, which we shared. One of them, which was the infant loss with your first set of twins, and then going from that, we had Fa'aki, and you know, just her birth experience, and then the super duper fast birth experience, traumatic, near death.
Very traumatic.
When we say near, we're laughing, but I mean, this was like a serious,
it really
serious
was,
thing, and that's our way of coping with trauma. Is to laugh our way through it.
When I look back, you know, we laugh at it, but it wasn't a laughing thing at that time.
I'm talking bloodshot eyes, unrecognizable.
I had no color to my skin.
So could you give us, tell us what type of birth each child was? So you had your twins, so the first set of twins.
So the first set of twins were natural, and then no epidural, no pain meds or anything, because one did come in the shower and then the other one delivered at the hospital right when I got there. And then with Aki, because I was bleeding blood clots before she came, so the doctor had recommended doing the emergency C-section. And then that's what got Sally into the whole birth experience, because there was a nurse that encouraged me, saying that I could do natural, you know, and like not to really.
She kind of hinted that it wasn't.
Yes, she did hint.
As like it wasn't the complication that the OB himself was indicating. If you know placenta previa, that's kind of what he was going with.
Yeah.
But according to the nurse, that's not the condition that Kim had. That it was just normal bleeding. But that opened my eyes to, hey, I need to know how the body works. What goes on,
just,
you know?
Yeah, just
so
everything.
So that we can be prepared next time.
Yeah.
And so after that with Aki.
Yeah, so then that's why I had the C-section with her. And then Anna was another natural.
Unplanned.
Yeah, unplanned natural birth. I did want to, but then my doctor completely shut it down because they were
too close together.
Yeah, they were too close together, like exactly a year apart. So he said like my scar wasn't healed yet, or you know, all the things that could happen. So that wasn't even an option. So I didn't prepare myself. So when she came, it was too fast, unplanned, and almost, you know, I did hemorrhage and it was just
it had a rupture and a hemorrhage, blood transfusion. I mean, all
it was a lot.
The things.
Yes. Yeah, and people still like when I talk to them, I was like, yeah, because you know I almost died. I did, like, when I told them.
Kim says it so calmly, but it really is. You know, if we brought our mom onto this podcast.
Oh, my mom,
she would share, because I know when she got to witness Foethi's birth, I know some of that.
I know, I could tell,
some of that was coming up.
Yes.
As she was, you know, reflecting back.
It was a PTSD for sure for my mom, because she was there for Anna's birth, and I just remember crying out to my mom, and I remember I was like, I was gonna go into the light because it was just so much, and my mom would keep telling me like, stay awake, but so definitely
because your eyes were like,
I was done. That's why I laugh about it, because I was
laughing,
like,
but please,
I'm going to the light. And my mom's like, no, stay here.
Yes. Please keep in mind, we're laughing, but it really was. Kim almost died.
Yeah, it was very traumatic.
Birth to Anna.
It was very traumatic.
And so she ended up getting pregnant pretty quickly after that too.
Yeah. And then Anna was almost 2. Then I had given birth.
Okay.
Then I had given birth to. So after she turned 1, then I got pregnant with the twins. And then with the twins, I remember I did want natural, but because they shared the placenta, you know, they had to come out earlier. So we ended up doing a planned C-section at 34 weeks. And then
we had Foeti.
And I knew with this one, because I knew it was going to be my last one.
Yes.
And I knew, okay, I really want to feel just
what that's like.
You know, what that's like. Like I felt it before with Anna, even though it wasn't planned, and with the first set of twins, but this time like fully in it with my mind, you know, and being prepared this time. So that was the plan, and I am very, very just grateful and blessed and happy to say that I went through with that plan. You know, looking back at it,
you had that clear vision.
I had that clear vision, yes, because where there's you know that saying, Sally.
What is it, Kim?
You know, no life without life. Okay.
You have to be in the inside circles to understand that. If you know,
you know.
Yes.
Bollywood.
If you know that quote without.
Oh, sorry, I just gave it away. But that wasn't the quote. But yes, now we're getting off track.
Yeah. So we were talking about having that clear vision and being able to actually execute it. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us. I know you had to mentally prepare, physically prepare. So remember, guys, on our previous episodes, if you haven't listened yet, we shared how Kim was staying active in this pregnancy.
Yes.
Like, if you follow me on TikTok or Kim's pages, Extreme Hip Hop with Mama K, that's XHH with Mama K on Instagram, you'll be able to see all the classes that she held even while she was pregnant. And so tell us, how was that like trying to exercise during your pregnancies? You know, to prepare.
Yeah, it definitely to me it gave me so much more energy, and it just helped me, like with the baby and just like my body, everything. But I know one thing was once I hit 34 weeks and on, then it started.
Oh, for sure.
Then it started to be like, okay, wait a minute, I am pregnant. Okay, like when I started working it out, because I'd come home and I can't move off the couch because my body is feeling from all the movements and my little jumping around and yeah, so that definitely slowed down once I got past 34 weeks. But one thing I do have to say that I've noticed, and I've never noticed with any of my other postpartum, is earlier this week I did go to a step class. I went to Lena.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So mom can.
So I went. So we have our Polynesian instructor here, Lena, and she had her first indoor class for Tuesdays, which the studio is literally right down the street from my house. It's 2 minutes from my house. So I remember I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go check it out. This is her first indoor class at this new studio, and baby Foetti, he's such a good baby. He's so easy.
An amazing angel baby.
He is. He really
makes
is
up
an
for
angel.
all those other experiences.
Yes, especially the last experience with 2. Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't know, Kim does breastfeed as well.
Yes.
And so this is a whole new world for her right now with baby Foetti.
Oh yeah.
Compared to breastfeeding twins.
Yes, yeah. So it's definitely been like a breeze, you know.
So you were able to leave him, right? Or did you take him?
No, I was able to leave him.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I was able to leave him because I did end up nursing him before I left. Then he knocked out, and when he sleeps, he sleeps. Okay, he doesn't sleep like he's a newborn. He sleeps like he's 3 months already.
Yes.
So that's the thing too, is reminding myself like, wait, he's a newborn, because he does not act like a newborn. So I remember I went to the class. And one thing I noticed, I thought my body would be like tired because I just gave birth. And I remember when I had lost the first set of twins and we went to work out, we went to go do running at Bob Eden. And, you know, I'm trying to run with Sally. And I remember I could not for the life of me. I was so out of shape. And that shocked me, you know, because growing up, I was always an athlete and I was always very active and into sports. So whenever it came to this time where I worked out, my first time ever in postpartum after the first set of twins, it was very hard. So, and then with the rest of my kids, you know, I didn't really work out right after. So with this one, I went to the class and I noticed it wasn't even hard. Like, it really wasn't hard to keep up or to move. The only thing that was just because I am nursing. So the milk, you know, I can't be jumping around because there's milk and it's just a little uncomfortable. But I've noticed, and I believe it's because of being active while I was pregnant all the way to the end of my pregnancy, that when I went back just earlier this week, that it was
like riding a bike.
Yeah, it was like riding a bike. It was so surprising to me.
Yes.
And then at the same time, I was like, let me slow down because I'm only 2 weeks postpartum. Let me go back home.
You have to heal. We keep going off in tangents.
Yes, we do.
But let's get back to the birth story. So you get checked into the hospital. You find out how far you're dilated, and
they ended up taking us to our room. So at this point, Sally comes and my mom also comes in, and that's when the fun begins. That's when we just take it contraction at a time. They just hooked me up to baby. So I just remember at this time contractions were coming, and I remember, you know, Sally was telling me, you want to breathe through the contraction and you want to sit with the contraction. You want to feel it, okay? You want to go with it. Where the contraction goes, move your body with it. So at this time, before it got intense, I just remember every time the contraction would come, I just relaxed my whole body. I made sure not to tense up, even the shoulders, even the eyebrows, like everything. Everything's relaxed and just let the contraction come. And that's when all the fun happened.
Yeah, we had so much fun in your labor room.
We did.
I mean, Kim really did well in managing her contractions. And she was in, I want to say when we got into the room around 9ish, you were in early labor.
Yeah.
And then Kim wasn't really in active labor until around, I want to say 1 or 2 p.m. is when she, because you had him at 4:08. 4:08, yeah. See, so not much time. So in between each of the contractions, Kim would talk. Yeah. She would, you know, we would laugh. We would be doing I would have Kim and Jackie move around and
Sally was being our doula, and she was showing us different techniques or movements to help with the contraction pain, talking Jackie alongside of me to encourage me. My doula was praying over us. Just everything. Sally was there. She was literally my doula, hands-on with every single part of my birth experience. When I would move this way or do a certain something, or as soon as my eyebrows are starting to tense up, she was like, loosen the eyebrows, loosen the shoulder. Yeah, drop the shoulder. So I'd always remind myself, and I would just feel the pain, breathe through the pain. And I just remember, all of a sudden the contractions started picking up. And those contractions, they were
getting stronger.
They were getting stronger and stronger. And I remember there was a part where it started to get strong, and I remember just feeling overwhelmed with joy and with peace, and just overwhelmed with so much emotion, knowing that, okay, I'm about to meet my son. I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this the way I want to do it. He's about to be here. And I just remember, there was that moment where that contraction was like, the intensity went up a notch, and I just remember just shedding tears, because I was thinking oh my gosh, this is happening. My son's almost here. This is my body's way of telling me he's coming. So I remember sitting there crying. There was another moment where another contraction comes, and I'm breathing through it. And here comes my doula, Sally. She comes alongside, stands over us again, and she's saying a prayer over us. My mom's standing over me too, and my husband on the other side. And I remember she was praying over us, and I was feeling the contraction, trying to breathe through it. And I just remember my husband, he started crying as well. He started tearing up, because it was a joyful time. It was a time to be celebrated.
Imagine that joy, but although you're in pain.
Yes. That's what I mean. I was in pain, but it was such a joyful time, a joyful pain, just knowing my husband seeing the pain that his wife is enduring to bring our son into this world. And man, shout out to my husband, okay? Because
I have some pictures.
My husband,
go into that. Talk about that.
Because before, I remember the weeks leading up to it, I've always, I've been preparing my husband. Okay, if this happens or if this happens, because I was telling him I don't know how I'm gonna react when I'm in pain. I don't know if I'm gonna chase you away. I don't know if I might be mean to you. So I just told him be prepared for anything. Whatever's gonna come, just be prepared and just try to talk me, call me, be there for me. And he overexceeded every part of my expectation. He was such an awesome supporter. He just made me feel so loved in such a vulnerable state that I was in, with everything that I was feeling. He was just so encouraging, and I just remember seeing my husband, and I could just see the love in his eyes, for me, about to birth his child, our child, and I was just I was just so in love with him even more.
And it gives you strength in those moments as well.
It definitely.
That's the thing that I realized when I decided to do natural births with Baba. So I did do it with Samson, but with Baba, when it was just me and Git, there's something
and intimate,
so special. I don't know what it is. It makes you feel like you just in love all over again.
So even though I was in all that pain, I was just so in love. I was this is the man. This is my husband. But so I'm so excited if you are tuning in on YouTube to see all those pictures, videos of Dorothy's birth experience. But
and so Daki, as you mentioned in the beginning of your birth story, you shared that you had texted him that your water broke and he was at work.
Yes.
And so he came from work, took you to the hospital, and then went through this whole labor.
Yes, without
by
any
your
sleep.
bedside.
Which I forgot. That's right.
By your side,
by my side the entire time. Oh, my husband. So because he worked overnight, so he didn't have no sleep at all for 24 hours until after everything. Then he finally slept. But I just remember him being there. I remember him just, he was just standing there, just saying he was admiring me, and he was telling me wow, you're so beautiful. I was like, and it just made me more excited to birth our child and experience everything that that God has designed our bodies to do.
Yeah.
Man, our bodies are so amazing. You know,
and it's even more amazing when your husband gets to come alongside you, because that's just creating all that oxytocin,
exactly,
all the love hormones that you need to help bring baby out.
Oh yeah.
When you study birth, I know for those that are listening, you're probably like, what is she talking about? When you study birth, man, the way that everything is designed is just there's no doubt that there is a God.
Yes.
You know, that designed us
the way
to be able to birth, and
exactly
the love hormones, you know, between the hormones that are created between you and your spouse, but not only that, but also if you know your children. I know you mentioned hugging your kids sometimes.
Oh yeah,
prior to get that oxytocin.
Yeah, because I knew oxytocin will also help speed up delivery, like to get me into labor when I was trying to get into labor. So I remember I'd lay there. Hormones. Yeah, I'd lay here and I'd be like, I need some oxytocin. I was like, I need one of my kids. Right when we hug, then it's just like, and, you know. So yeah, it would just be so funny because I would say I need oxytocin. My husband would be like, which kid? But yeah, this was the end of my pregnancy, and we're trying to get this baby out. So
so we're in the labor room. Yaki is coming alongside you, whispering sweet nothings into your ear. Definitely an intimate space. So that was another thing, was just encouraging Yaki to just be to be your husband, to be your support. I was there to just come alongside. I'll give you some water, step away, because I think as women it's easy for us, especially in our labor rooms, we want to be you know, the one carrying to you and say, hey Yaki, why don't you go sit down and lay down
just
for
relax.
A little bit. But I think it's really amazing when the husband gets to come alongside their wife and really support them in this moment. Yeah,
exactly. And you know, once my contractions started picking up even more, and you could really feel the pressure and feel your pelvic bone starting to widen as he's heading down, and at that point it was very intense. There wasn't any more laughing or joking at this time.
That's another thing.
It was just quiet, and then I had music playing, so it was just quiet because they were coming back to back to back. So I remember just sitting there. Yaki would be in the back of me trying to, you know, help with that pain, my back pain. Yes, the counter pressure. And my mom would come alongside me right here. And, you know, I just lay my head on her shoulder, just relax, taking in each contraction as it came, each wave of emotion, each wave of pain, knowing that just a couple more minutes. A couple more minutes. It didn't feel like it really did not.
I know to Kim it didn't feel like a couple minutes.
It felt forever.
It felt forever. I could see that in her eyes.
I was getting tired of laboring.
Yes, labor is labor.
It was labor.
LABOR. It's real labor.
I was just to that point where I was just tired. You know, I felt like he wasn't gonna come until like forever. Yes,
I could tell that it was getting hopeless, so then I would pray over Kim again, and then encourage her again, have Yaki hold her, whisper to her, whatever means we had to do to distract Kim from going into that mental space.
It was definitely
feeling forever.
An intimate moment, just being in that moment, and at the same time, like feeling helpless, but knowing that our help comes from the Lord, and it's just such an experience that I'm truly blessed to be able to experience alongside with my mom and with my sister that is my doula and my husband as well. And I remember the contractions were like a minute apart. At this point, the nurse came in. They're like, bring the nurse. I think it's about time to push. So
the thing is, when Kim was getting those intense contractions, I had deep inside I did not want to be the one to catch this baby. That's what I could sense from hearing the way that Kim, I don't need Kim to tell me, oh, my pain level is this and that. When I hear that bearing down voice that every woman does when they get into transitional labor, that's when you know, okay, baby's in that birth canal. It is time. So
he was there.
Kim, prior to calling the nurses to come in, Kim went to go sit in the bathroom, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, please don't deliver on the toilet.
Yeah.
Because usually that's where sometimes
yes, because the
that
pressure
position is gonna help. And so I remember I called the nurse. She came in, checked, and she was like, we're not quite there yet, but very soon.
Yeah, we were 9 centimeters at that point. Yeah.
And so I remember thinking, oh no, I shouldn't have called the nurse because I don't want Kim to be like, only 9.
Yeah, I was like, this whole time I thought it'd be 10 by now.
No, but it really wasn't that long. To Kim, it felt long.
Yeah, it really wasn't after that.
Yes, because right after that, I think a couple minutes.
Yeah, it was just a couple minutes.
I forget how long, but after that, I called the nurse. I was like, hey, I really think it's time. Let's go ahead and.
Yeah.
So she came in. Everybody came in.
Yep.
We all waited.
Yep. They came in. They set me up, and
talk about this moment.
Yeah, and they were just like, okay, it's time to push. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like finally. Yes, like this is the moment I've been waiting for. Let's get this baby out. I'm like, I'm done with it at this point. I'm so tired. I've been laboring for so long. And I just remember, we got me ready, started pushing, did another push. Every time I would push, they'd say, he's right there, he's right there. And I remember thinking, he's not right there.
Because if it was right there.
Yeah, if he was right there, he'd be right there. Okay? Like, you guys are tricking me. So I just remember just every time trying to push and really bear down. And it's just that moment, it just felt so long. It felt so long.
It felt so long to Kim, but I could tell that it felt so long to you. Because I kept looking at your eyes, I was like, oh no.
Yes, because I was getting there again.
She is tired.
I was like
tired.
just too tired.
She was about to check out on us.
Yeah.
She's like, forget
I was about
this.
to see the light. I'm going to the light again.
But I remember looking at Kim, I was like, Kim, you got this, you got this. It's like, he's almost here, here.
Yeah, Sally and Thiaki were standing right here next to me on the left side of me. My mom, I know she kind of stepped away. She stepped away out of the way from the nurses and everything, and I could see that she was worried too, just because of, giving her flashbacks of with Anna's birth. So I could tell my mom was, my poor mom, I remember seeing a video of her she's just like so worried for me. And I remember it finally, after I think like 5 pushes, it got to a point like I just gave up. I did.
She sat back. She sat back in the bed. She's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like,
after I was like,
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to let her rest, because I know sometimes when the contraction would come, the nurses would encourage you to push, and I was like, you know what? Maybe we just need to just let her be.
Yes.
Let her just catch a moment to herself. And then when that contraction really comes, then you have no choice but to...
Yes, exactly. You have no choice, but you got to do it. You got to bear down and get that baby out.
Not that you have no choice, but your body's going to
do it for you.
Whether you're ready
it's forcing it, whether you like it or not.
And so I remember you sitting, you were like, okay. You're like,
oh, Sally's like, they do it. It's like, all right, let's go.
Like, hold my leg up. I think you told Thiaki to hold her leg up.
Yeah, to help hold my leg up.
And she just went for it up, and there you go.
And sure enough, he finally came, and I remember they're like, he's here, and I just remember thinking like, I was like, thank you God, thank you Jesus, thank you, he's finally out, and thank you, I'm finally done with this labor process. I was like, no more.
But you did it, did it, and I know for a fact that if you're able to stay home longer and not go to the hospital right away, and if you're able to allow yourself to get a snack, and a drink,
because I was starving,
then that would have kind of aided in helping you, so that you wouldn't be so tired, because you went from 6 in the morning all the way to 4 p.m. without eating. For a pregnant lady, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And if you don't, oh no.
Yes. Okay. But he finally came. He made his way. He was healthy and full head of hair. He weighed 8 pounds and 15 ounces, basically 9 pounds.
Basically 9 pounds, because he pooped.
Yes.
When he came out, he pooped a lot. Mm-hmm. So the nurses had to clean him off.
Yeah. And
I'm sure that he would have been.
Yeah, that's what the nurses said. They're like, he would have been 9 pounds if he didn't. I was like, we just gonna say he's 9 pounds. Yes. Okay, but he's definitely my biggest baby. Even now.
Tallest.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's 2 weeks old.
No, he's like 2 months old.
Yeah, he's like 2 months old. He's an old soul for sure.
Yes.
So yeah, he's just been such a good baby. He's so easy. He's definitely been our missing puzzle piece. I always say that because he's our missing puzzle piece. God knew we needed our Foethi here with us, our little baby, and we're just so in love with him. His siblings are so in love with him, and every moment, every chance they get to hold him, they want to every single day. So, which they're very helpful. They're a lot of hands-on with this baby. So it's just been a blessing. It's just been so nice, just being a newborn mom again.
Yes, love having baby Fo. I'm really happy to have baby Fo here because it's a new baby to love on.
Yeah, because it was always Sally's babies that we were loving on.
So now I get to love on someone else's baby that I can return. I'm just kidding.
Exactly, that's the best part, right?
Sione gave me PTSD. So
okay,
we're not gonna
I think she gave everyone PTSD.
We're not gonna get into her early infancy, but going back to having Foethi, and you immediately, how long did you stay in that room? You immediately went into your next room right after?
Yes, I was in that room just for a couple hours, and I think around 7, then they moved me to the other room that I would be staying in for the postpartum. Yeah.
Do you have any advice? What advice could you give to another mom out there that wants to have a natural birth? For you in this situation, this is basically a VBAC, basically a regular birth after a cesarean, after C-section. So what advice do you have for other mamas out there that are looking to do the same thing? Maybe they had a C-section and now they want to have a natural delivery with the next baby. What would be your advice for them?
I would definitely say to really advocate yourself on birth and our bodies and what our bodies are capable of doing, because we are capable of doing so much,
more than what we think our bodies can do, which is
like your mind is so powerful. You can do it, and not only that, but to really have a supportive team, whether it's your husband, your mom, your family, whoever it is that supports your decision, and that will be there to encourage you. And then also finding either a doctor, or if you want to find a midwife, finding that right person that will allow you to have a VBAC, because I know most doctors won't, but there still are a couple doctors that will allow you to have a VBAC, which my doctor wasn't there to deliver my son, but there was an on-call doctor, and she was surprised that my doctor allowed me to give birth naturally. So that goes to show that there's a lot that may say no, but there's still some doctors that will allow you, as long as they look at your history. And knowing my birth history, it's a pretty crazy birth history. So every time they ask about my birth, they would tend to push for C-section because of that.
For sure, because you're kind of deemed as high risk.
Yeah, because of the whole birth experiences. But luckily,
shout out to Dr. Safely.
Yes, Dr. Safely. He was such an awesome doctor. He listened to my cares and my wants, and we talked, of course, like medically what he thought, but at the same time he supported my decision. And at this, another thing that I would say is also to be proactive with your health during your pregnancy. Very, very important. It goes hand in hand with delivering, especially naturally, and the healing process after. It has helped tremendously with this pregnancy and with my postpartum. Like, I could go run a marathon, okay? But let me just take it slow. But definitely just being proactive with your health and what you put in your body, because it really makes a difference. And if you really want to have a VBAC or birth naturally, you can do it. Just apply all those things and
take those classes.
There are,
whether you're gonna pay for one or whether you're gonna take a free one, or whether you're finding, there's so many resources out there. Everything that I applied, I had 5 kids, so each time I'm learning new information, I'm like, okay, how can I apply this in the labor room? So I basically, was a trial. Basically ran a trial on myself, okay?
And not only that, I know they have a lot of videos on YouTube with stretching, how to get the baby in the right position, all these different techniques and tricks that could help you. with birthing.
That's right, because we did apply some techniques in the labor room.
Yeah.
Because I could tell that baby Phil wasn't sitting.
Yeah.
When Kim's contractions kind of stopped a
stalled
little bit, or were becoming farther apart instead of closer, I figured, okay, maybe he's a little
not in the right position.
Yeah. So we would do some of that. I think it was like the rebozo synthene.
Yes.
And then also had Kim lay on an opposite side to get him to, and those contractions picked up.
Oh yeah, for sure. After that, yes, because I was getting a contraction while we were doing it. And I remember thinking like, "Thank you, Sally," but those same techniques, you can do them while you're pregnant. And I was here at home doing those techniques and tricks and stretches. So by the time I give birth, everything would be, it would help with the process of laboring. So. Yeah.
We're so happy,
so
grateful. We thank the Lord for a healthy delivery. I mean, a safe delivery, healthy baby, healthy mama, the best postpartum experience. And these are all things that we prayed for, things that we put into action.
Yes.
And so we just thank the Lord for that. And thank you, Kim, for believing that you can.
Yes. Well, thank you for encouraging me to birth naturally. She's been encouraging me the whole time. Because I'm not going to lie, there were times
Kim said that she wanted to do this. So as soon as I heard that, I piggybacked right onto it. I said.
There were times as I was getting closer, like 37, 38 weeks, 39 weeks. I remember thinking to myself, like, do I really want to? Let's just C-section. Yeah, I was like, stat, because I've had C-section, so I know how it is. I was like, I don't have to feel the pain. And I've had a natural with Anna and the first set of twins. So I was like, do I really want to do that? I don't know. Am I crazy? So, but just thank you to Sally for encouraging me, my husband, because he knew what my plans were and continued to encourage me.
Very important that your birth partner is on board.
Yeah, because
and knows what you want.
Exactly. And he was talking, I remember he told me, like, he's kind of scared, just because, like, the whole thing, like, it's a lot.
Yeah, and anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. I could just see the light for real and bye. But yeah, just that whole experience and everything. And one thing I know for sure is the postpartum care. It's very, very, very important. And one thing that I really took in, and one thing that I'm so grateful for, was my postpartum was, coming home, and Sally's here.
Wait a minute.
I woke up.
Did you come from the hospital?
I was like, wait, did you come in the other car seat too? Were you in my car? I remember I came home, woke up the next day. Sally's here already. She's cooking breakfast. She's making me the seaweed soup. What is it called?
Myeokguk.
Yeah, she's making me that, and
it's a Korean birthday soup.
Yes. And she's making me that. She's making me the lactation energy granola balls. Yeah. So Sally was just so hands-on with my postpartum care and helping take care of me postpartum wise. So I didn't have to move too much just with the healing process those first couple of days, especially. And then, she came again. She was just here like the whole first week, just here hanging out, doing things around the house, picking up. And I just remember thinking, I remember my husband was saying it too. He was just like, wow, like, that's so helpful for Sally to come over here and do all these things. I said, yeah, it is, like, to really think like, okay, how much it meant to us, and it just goes to show that, to me, postpartum care is so important, more than, before delivery.
Yes.
So
and that's exactly
important.
why I showed up, because I know what it's like.
Yes.
Okay, so any mamas out there, if you're in that postpartum, depression, postpartum darkness and gloom, trust me. I've been there, done that, and had to
I think we've all been there. For sure.
Crawl my way out. All your hormones are regulating.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're having to take care of this new little human being that's yours. Yeah. All of your responsibility. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, control your emotions.
Your
emotions going
especially
everywhere.
As a new mom, your body's new.
Yes.
Like, you're like, oh,
yes, exactly. Your body's not the same.
So you're sorting out all this, then having to meal. What are we gonna cook?
Yeah, if you have more children, to like cook for the family, and it is a lot.
So it's definitely very important, postpartum care. So I know that they have like postpartum doulas and stuff, but that's where the family, where your village of people come in.
Yes.
To surround, to support you in that period. But
so definitely having Sally here really opened my eyes to like, wow, what a huge difference it made for me for my postpartum, just having her here for those first couple of days at home and making me a meal. And I would just like, there's no words to show how grateful and thankful I was for my doula of a sister coming out, coming here and doing all of that for me. And it definitely, made me, when she plans to have another one, that I'm going to be there for her on her postpartum care. I'm going to be making the myeokguk, okay? I'm going to be making...
You should know this. It's a Korean dish.
Sorry,
Kim is named after Korean. So.
Yes, but no life without wife, okay? So, or Hakuna Matata, okay? But it definitely... For next time when my sister has another one, that I will, step in for that postpartum care. And it's also something I want to encourage our listeners, that are listening in and tuning in to our podcast, that are tuning into our podcast, is if you know someone, and you see them give birth, to really be there for them in their postpartum care. Whatever way that is, whether it's ordering a meal for that family during that week, or, coming there to tidy up the house, just to clean up, even if it's just an hour, or coming to hold the baby while the mom can get some rest. Whatever it is, I highly, highly encourage our listeners to do that for someone, be there for that person, whoever it is, because it absolutely means the world to them. It meant so much to me just to have my sister here for those first couple of days. So thank you, Sally.
You're welcome. So glad to hear that.
That is a lot. I know I keep saying it, but it did. It meant so much.
I know it did, because I could have definitely used that with I don't know which kid, because I know I had people that showed up for me too.
Yeah.
Family members that showed up. Kim,
family, church members.
Kim always did the one thing that I love, which was she would take the other kids.
Oh yeah.
Because all my kids are kind of back to back, so she would take my older kiddos, all of them, and it would just be me, my husband, and the little bitty baby. And that was always so special to me, especially in that first week. So
yes, exactly. The first week.
So definitely what Kim said, to really show up for those postpartum mamas, if you know one, if maybe it's your spouse or maybe it's a friend.
Exactly.
Definitely show up for them. I would say for me that's probably more important than the baby shower.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Everyone shows up. Look, the baby shower helps too. Everyone shows up to the baby shower.
But that postpartum, especially for first time moms.
Especially first time moms.
Please,
if you're in that season and maybe you don't have someone showing up for you, reach out to us.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, we would love to. Please.
Anyways, we want to bring on Baby Foeti's oldest sister, Fa'aki Akakao Faith Finau. All right, so we have Aki here with us today. How did you feel when you found out that Mama was going to have a baby?
Excited.
Excited? Did you know what his name was going to be?
No.
When did you find out what his name was?
Whenever he gave birth.
Whenever he was born? Well, Aki, thank you so much for coming on here and sitting here with Baby Fo. Aki is the best big sister. There's also Anamuala, but she was taking a nap earlier. Oh, yes. She's up.
She was taking a nap, and we didn't notice that she was in the frame taking her nap when we did our whole episode. So
yes, we did not. But Aki, go ahead and close us out.
Thank you for tuning in on
What Anna Said podcast.
Bye.
Bye.